Welcome back, boys, to the Boys Hub Live. Today, we have USC cornerback Chris Steele. Chris, how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. Just happy to be here talking to you guys.
Thank you. Okay, let's get right into it. So, Chris, what was the recruiting process like for you, and why did you originally commit to Florida?
Everybody knows for me the recruit process was a little bit different. I had a really difficult process. I had over 50 scholarship offers. I started getting scholarship offers my freshman year, so it was just really hard for me to really make a decision with so many schools to pick from. But I originally committed to UCLA my sophomore year of high school. It was a school that I grew up, going to camps when I was a little kid. I used to go to their camps and stuff. So I have one of my mentors who actually passed away. He played at UCLA, got drafted in the second round out of there and stuff. So him and my dad were best friends, and I could say he kind of had like an impact in my life. So I kind of made like an impulse. I made an impulsive decision, and committed to UCLA as a sophomore, and then I decommitted, and I ended up committing to USC my junior year. And then, obviously some things happened. I ended up signing my NLI with Florida when it was all said and done, and ended up coming back home. And I'm real happy about that. But yeah, my recruiting process was crazy.
Sounds like it. When you got offered by UCLA, you were just instinctively chose UCLA. You knew you were going to go there, and then eventually over time you decided to decommit.
Yeah, so I had originally committed to Coach Jim Mora and Coach Demetrius Martin. And when that whole staff kind of got cleaned out, I ended up weighing my options. Ended up deciding to just weigh my options.
Okay. We know after you transferred from Florida, it didn't work out too well. So you entered the transfer portal, and then you originally committed to Oregon and then decommitted. So what made you change your mind?
Yeah, so when I first entered the portal, I had planned on just going to a school that was going to be close to the home and it was going to fit me better as a player. They were going to take care of me academically, and just as a human being, just more than football. So I was looking at Oregon and USC, Oklahoma, Clemson was on me a little bit. So those are really some of the schools that I was talking to when I was leaving, and then I ended up deciding to go to Oregon because of Coach Dante, who's actually at USC now. Dante's like, one of my mentors. He's more than just a football coach to me. So just, the relationship that we have kind of drove me to go to Oregon. But, I just had to have like a long conversation with my family and everything and really just think about what really meant the most to me. And there's nothing better than being able to play at home for a head coach who, loves his players like no other. So, it was just the best decision for me. So.
For sure. Jack, ask yours instead.
So as a child, was there a team that you wanted to play for, or did you ever envision yourself playing for USC?
Man, so when I was younger, to be honest, I wasn't really like the biggest football junkie when I was a little kid. I was kind of like a little bad child.
Mm-hmm.
So I played football and everything when I was younger, of course, but I didn't really have a team that I looked up to or like any player. I actually didn't have a player I looked up to till probably my 8th grade year when I like first started kind of, or going into my freshman year when I made the transition to DB.
Yeah. So when did you like ultimately decide that you wanted to do football with your life?
So I played baseball, basketball, and football growing up, and I was always like a really aggressive kid. I used to like every time even when I got in trouble when I was when I was first, second grade, it was always because I was just being too rough and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
my mom always knew I had the physicality. My dad always saw I was really aggressive and physical. So they had me playing football, and then it was just something that my dad really pushed me to keep doing. So I'm glad he did because it definitely ended up working out in the long run.
Yeah, for sure.
You said that you ended up looking, when you transferred to defensive back, you ended up looking up to a specific player. Who was that for you?
Richard Sherman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What would you say has been your favorite college game that you've played in so far?
My favorite college game. Dang, that's tough. So it would have to be between. Personally, I would say Notre Dame, just because that was just the environment was insane. I mean, I've never played against so many crazy fans. I mean, that was fun, but unfortunately, we got the L. We didn't get the W. We lost, so I would have to go with probably Utah. Yeah, definitely
Yeah, that was a
Utah,
big game.
Yeah.
no doubt.
So what's it like to play in such a competitive cornerback room at USC?
I mean, it makes you better because going against when you have three dudes who are you have OG and ITS who were 5 stars coming out of high school, and then I ended up coming back. I was a 5 star out of high school. We have a lot of 4 stars in the DB room. A lot of ballers in the DB room in general. So I mean, it was it's tough, but I always had the mindset. Even I think I got this when I was at Johns Bosco. Just going up against some of the dudes that I saw over there. So I always just had the mindset that I didn't care who was in front of me. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna outwork my opponent 100%, like 10 times out of 10. So it didn't really mean too much to me. But I mean, I ended up coming here, and it made me like I would say me coming here and being around the guys that I'm around definitely made me 10 times better. I mean, just seeing ITS, who's just physically he's just a freak. I mean, his body, his change of direction, his speed, is different than OG. He's very athletic, knows how to play the ball better than anybody I've seen. So, I mean, just being around those guys, I've been able to pick up a lot of different things and apply it to my game. So, it's definitely made me a lot better. But my biggest thing was just not shying away from the competition, because at the end of the day, I knew it was gonna get me to the point where I am now. It's gonna get me a lot better as a player.
Yeah, playing high school ball at
Nice.
St. John Bosco, was that? I mean, that's known nationwide as a huge football powerhouse. So did that kind of prepare you for college? Just know it's because it's almost like a small college program playing there.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. I mean, Coach Negro and the staff up at Bosco do a great job. I mean, even the counselors and teachers up there, they treat it like it's a college. So they were pushing me to my limits every day while I was there. There was times where there was really times where I didn't like Coach Negro, just because he was pushing me, and I didn't understand it. I just got moved up after my freshman football season. After the season was over, I got moved up. And, I didn't think he really liked me, but, once my junior year hit, I started realizing, like, this dude, he really cares about me. He's just pushing me just because, he sees what I could do. So, I mean, I would definitely say that just being around a coach like that who's gonna love you unconditionally, but at the same time really be on you, I mean, it definitely got me prepared for the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's it like to play with such a vibrant personality like Elijah Griffin on the field with you?
I mean, it's the best. OG, that's my dog, right? That's my right hand man. I mean, me and OG, the thing that makes us special as a duo is that I know a lot of dudes at other schools, they play together on the same team, but you don't really see them build that relationship outside of football. But me and OG, that's my guy. I talk to him every single day. So I mean, when I'm out there with him, it's more than just we're teammates. It's like that's for real my brother. I want to I want to give my all every single play for him, and I know he's gonna do the same for me. So it's real fun playing out there with him. He's the most energetic dude I've been around, or I'm ever around. So, I mean, I like it. It's cool. It's real cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always see videos of Elijah Griffin dancing. So would you say that he's the best dancer on the team, or someone else in mind?
Yeah, no, OG's for sure the best dancer on the team.
All right, and then I got a question, because we all know Elijah Griffin's dad, Warren G, is pretty big rapper, and back then, can Elijah rap like his dad?
No,
No.
no, we be freestyling stuff, man. OG can't guard us. He got blessed with that.
Yeah.
Which wide receiver would you say? Oh, my bad. No, you can go. You can go.
So there's definitely some huge rivalry games that you guys play in every year at USC with Notre Dame and UCLA. So could you kind of describe the experience of playing in that atmosphere of that big of a rivalry?
Man, I mentioned Notre Dame earlier. That game was crazy. It was definitely different just because I'm a SoCal kid, born and raised. So when I went out there, it was freezing cold. It was different. Like my asthma, I have really bad asthma too. So I got out there. It was real cold. I couldn't breathe and stuff. So at first it was really hard. Like the first few drives, it was like, dang, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through this game. And once I really just calmed myself down, because that's really all it was. It was all mental. That was the biggest stage I had played on up to that point. So it was and I was going up against one of the top receivers in the country with Chase Claypool. So I was sad. I wasn't nervous, but I did have like a little pregame jitters, and it didn't really go away till like maybe after the third drive, I came back and I felt ready to go. But that game was crazy. Like every play, you made sure that like you knew that the stands was there. Like every year, it was crazy. And then UCLA was pretty cool too. Obviously that's the big rivalry. So it wasn't better than Notre Dame, but it was. To be honest, UCLA was cool whooping on them, but I wouldn't put it up there with like one of my top games or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evan, you want to
which
go?
wide receiver? Yeah. Which wide receiver would you say is the hardest to guard in the Pac-12?
The ones I go against in practice every day.
That's a good answer.
That's the right
I like
answer.
that.
Yeah, Michael Pittman last year, I was going against him and Tyler every single day, going against Amaral. So when it got to the game, obviously there was every team had their guy, but it definitely made it a lot easier to guard. Different dudes in the Pac-12, and even against Notre Dame. Like when I was guarding Chase Claypool, I'm going against Michael Pittman every single day. They have the same body build and everything, so it kind of made the games so much easier. It slowed everything down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say
your favorite? Sorry, you go. Yeah, you go.
What would you say the hardest environment within the Pac-12 to play in was?
Washington. For sure. That stands was
sure.
That stands was crazy. As soon as we came out the tunnel, I go, we all go to the back of the end zone, everybody praising stuff. We're praying and I'm looking up, I'm getting cussed out by the fans, getting middle fingers and everything. And it's like, dang, I just praying there, no remorse. It was crazy. Yeah, those UW fans are crazy. I like it.
Yeah, though. You can hear it on TV how loud it is in that stadium too.
Oh yes, I couldn't hear a word. That was one of my first games starting too, so I really couldn't. I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah,
that stadium's so nice.
Oh yeah, it was a really nice stadium too. But
yeah. So what would you say your favorite memory as a Trojan is?
So far I'd say my favorite memory as a Trojan would probably have to be starting against Utah. It was that was my first game. That was my first game as a starter. And I started I didn't play against Colorado. Yeah, but I think I started every game after that. So it was kind of just the start of my story as a Trojan. Really, I played in the first two games, but playing against Utah, I was really able to go out there and really show what I could do. I didn't give up a catch that game. Had a few tackles, so I just felt like that was really like a big stepping stone for me. Just getting out there, getting my first start out the way and everything. So that was definitely my best experience as a Trojan so far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So on an overall scale, what would you say your aspirations for the future are as a cornerback?
My aspirations for the future as a cornerback is, obviously I want to be, I want everybody to remember me as, the best DB to come out of USC, and then, obviously I want to go into the league and do really well there too, and I want to be known as great, so that's always been my biggest goal, and I'm keep chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than Richard Sherman, who would you say you based your game off of the most?
I'd say, I mean, to be honest, I've always been I can't really name anybody like in the more recent years just because I plan on being in the NFL in a few years. So I'm gonna try to take one of their spots. That's just my
Yeah.
mindset. So I don't really
Yeah.
have anybody. I can't really
Yeah.
name anybody in the more recent years. That's why I always go with the old heads. Sherman's getting old. So and
Yeah.
I've actually got the chance to be around Sherman a few times too. So I mean, just being able to talk to him when I was younger and stuff. It's another reason why he played. Why he's my favorite DB. But yeah, I mean, it's really just him.
Yeah. Sherman's for sure a goat.
Oh yeah.
So if you could get an interception off one NFL quarterback, who would it be?
One NFL quarterback. Dang, I want to say Drew Brees, but that's my favorite quarterback.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Most
feel that one also.
Yes, sir.
I get Brady.
Yeah.
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 So, there's a lot of great jerseys in the NFL. So in a couple of years, what jersey do you want to be wearing?
I mean, whatever team's willing to take the chance on me, I never really grew up like a fan of a specific team either. So I don't really have any specific team that I want to go to, but just whatever team is willing to take a chance on me, I'm gonna compete my heart out for them. So
Yeah.
wherever.
So this is kind of a different sort of question here, but just as important. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
If I could have one superpower, what would it be? I would want to be able to read minds. I
Oh
would
yeah,
know
that's a
everything.
good one.
Know all the routes.
Yeah.
Receivers running.
Exactly. I'm gonna be in perfect position every single time.
Yeah.
Would you use that outside of football as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. Most definitely.
Yeah.
I would have to.
Yeah, that's a good superpower for a corner.
For sure.
What advice would you give your high school self?
Dang, that's a really good question actually. What advice would I give my high school self? I'd say the biggest thing would probably be I wish that I listened to my parents more throughout high school. I mean, there was a lot of just little decisions that I made that I think could have been avoided if I would listen to the people that I have around me. So I mean, just I would tell myself not to be so hard headed. That not everybody's just against me. People actually do that because that was always my biggest thing. I mean, in high school, I felt like I was getting offers really young, and then it kind of got to the point to where I kind of, and it took me a long time to really like understand this about myself and to admit to it, like that I was playing myself. I mean, my freshman and sophomore year, I was getting offers. I had a real high motor. I was working out every day. And then my junior year, I had a pretty good season. Was still, all state and everything, getting all the accolades. But that was just based off of like raw talent. I mean, I could just tell. I saw the drop off of my game that nobody else really was able to see. I was still performing pretty well in the field, but I just knew I could do so much better. So, I mean, just listening to my parents as far as, my dad telling me what workouts to do, just not being so hard as I feel like I could have been a lot better player and put myself in a lot better position right now. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm just working.
Yeah. All right. So that pretty much wraps it up for questions, but we have some Trojan trivia for you.
All right.
So our first question is, how many national championships does USC have? A 6, B 11, C 9, or D 1?
9.
9. I think it's 11,
Oh, that's bad.
but I don't know.
It's 11. It's 11.
It is 11.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully
All right,
12 soon.
Next year, 12.
12.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
All right. What famous comedian is a USC alumni? A. Kevin Hart, B. Adam Sandler, C. Will Ferrell, or D. Robin Williams?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. What does the winner of the UCLA USC game receive? A. The victory bell. B. Paul Bunyan's axe. Or C.
Mhm.
The jeweled shillelagh.
Victory bell.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep it
Yeah,
too for a
that's
long time.
yeah.
They're gonna give it back for a minute. I don't think they will.
And lastly, what two players made up the iconic running back duo that's commonly referred to as Thunder and Lightning? A.
Reggie Bush,
Marquise
Lando
Stepp and
White.
Keenan Christian.
Reggie Bush and Lando White.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
I got one more question for you. It's not trivia. It's just what you think. So they obviously just came out with the new NCAA rules on players being able to make money off their image. Like, how do you think that's gonna affect you? Are you happy about it?
Oh, I mean, I was very excited about it. I mean, I think that it's definitely going to give players the opportunity to. I mean, if I don't think that a lot of people really understand how much social media is actually valued now. Like, I mean, when you're on social media, you got to be careful about what you post and everything, just because that's you building your brand. That's why I'm always careful about what kind of content I put up on my social media. You never want to give up the wrong impression. So, every time you put something out there on the internet, that's all going towards your brand, and what you put out there is gonna depend. It's gonna kind of, it depends. It's all gonna kind of play into what you're gonna receive, is what I'm trying to say. Like, what's the easiest way for me to explain it? So basically, like, me, I've built a solid reputation around my name. I've definitely built a pretty large brand around myself. So with this new rule going into play, I feel like, just like I said, the brand that I built for myself is really going to be able to bring me in a lot of whatever it is. I mean, whether it's, I'm not really too sure how the rule is going to work. I know we're going to be able to get money and stuff, but I think there's going to be a little bit more to it. So, just being able to maximize whatever I could get. I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing for me. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool. And I got another question for you. I know we all want there to really come out with a new NCAA football just video game. If they do make one, what do you think your ratings will be?
My ratings, I'm gonna need like let me see. Am I going based off of my freshman season, or what I think how I think I'm gonna do?
Right now.
What
Right
you
now,
think?
I need to.
Nah, what you think you're gonna be next year?
Yeah. Like,
What
if
I
you
think
could
I'm
rate
gonna do
yourself,
next
what would
season?
you give yourself?
My overall would be like a 94.
Yeah.
All right.
94. What would be my attributes? My speed would probably be like, I'm not the fastest, but my speed would probably be like a 89 or a 90. I'll be up there.
Yeah.
And then what's that? What else do you have on Madden? Elusiveness? No, I wouldn't even.
Tackle rating.
Man coverage.
My man coverage would be 98. I think my tackle, I don't miss tackles, so I'll be 99 on tackling.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the NCAA came around, I'll be straight. You guys should play with me. If it does come out and they were going based off of my ratings, you got to get right and play with me, man.
All right, I'm gonna be using. Yeah, I'm gonna be using you
Yeah.
if we got that game.
Do you guys play Call of Duty at all?
Yeah, Warzone.
Yeah.
That's my game right there. I don't really play like sports games. I'm a Call of Duty guy. I'm a Warzone guy.
Yeah. How many dubs you got on Warzone?
Solo, I have 5, and then
Damn.
yeah, I only have like 3, probably 3 dubs. One of them was it was me and two of my other homeboys, and then the other 2 were I want to say it was me, and it might have been my boy Jeremiah Cardell that goes to Oklahoma and a random. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty good. I got 0.
Yeah.
Same.
Maybe
I'm so
maybe you
bad.
should do esports on. Maybe you should do esports on the side.
Man, I think I'm thinking about doing a few things. So I'm about to start a YouTube channel, start
Yeah.
putting up some content up there and stuff. So
Yeah.
this is me playing.
Make sure to send me that link. I'll
Yeah,
subscribe.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you thinking about like doing on the YouTube?
I mean, you know, it was something I was already thinking about doing, but since the whole rule passed, like, I mean, why not really get the most out of it? So I mean, there's a lot of different things that I plan on doing. You know, I kind of want to I also wanted to start like my own little podcast with one of my teammates. He's a safety, Jordan McMillan. So yeah, me and him were talking about doing that. So I would definitely just want to get like a few visuals up of my podcast if I do end up really going through with it, which I think we should. But you know, I want to put some visuals together, be able to put that up there, just, you know, like a day in the life of not even just football, because I want people to really get to know me, you know, just as a person, you know, because football is not really the end all be all. It's gonna end for me someday, so I want people to remember me about more than just football. So that's why me, you know, really interacting with everybody has always been so big for me. You know, just getting to really know everybody who supports me and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during quarantine, what does a day in the life of Chris Steele look like?
during quarantine, working out. I work out. All right, so I'll just give you like yesterday was my routine. I woke up at like 9. No, I woke up at 8 because I had tutoring, and then I had a workout at 11. So I went to my workout, and then right after my workout, I had to rush home because I had more tutoring at 1 from 12 to 1, and then from 1 to 2. So I did that, worked on some homework, and just played Fortnite the rest of the night.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
That's
Sounds like a decent day.
yeah, that's a day in my life. I just wake up, work out,
Yeah.
do whatever schoolwork I have to do, and then I mean, there's nothing else to do. So I'm kind of just in the house, chilling, working out, or even when I'm at home, I got like a medicine ball, some bands and stuff, some resistant bands. I'm always just trying to, you know, do a little something. So
Yeah.
keeps me busy throughout the day. I just get up and be like, I'm just do 100 push-ups real quick, just because. So, you know, it keeps me busy.
Yeah.
All right. I think
All right.
we hit it all. So thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
It
for
means a
sure.
lot to us.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Thank you,
Whenever
man.
no doubt. Whenever you guys want to chop it up, just, you know, let me know. I'm always down to talk to you guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck this
Keep
Thank
it
you.
all.
You guys
Fight
have a
on.
good one.
Fight on.
on.
Peace out.